Hi friends, my name is Yamir. Welcome to Flosstube number 26. If you are a new friend, welcome. If you are a returning friend, hi friend. Nice to see you. I guess first things first, I got a haircut. I cut my hair. I usually keep it super curly, but this time around, which I'm gonna put it back, I cut it. I did cut off a lot, but you know, it is what it is. You know, I needed to at least shower at least once in my life and get my life together. It was the first haircut since all of COVID happened, so pretty much since 2019. So it was definitely time. But yes, we're here to talk about cross stitch and a lot of goodies. It's August 1st, so there's a lot of good things happening. August brings so much fun, which I'm going to talk about along the way because I don't have a lot of stitching, or I have a little bit of stitching. I don't have a lot of haul because I filmed about a little bit over a week ago, so I haven't piled up pretty much nothing, but I feel like there's just a lot of things going on. I have a lot of projects going for the month of August. They're going to be slowly rolled out bit by bit or piece by piece, so it's going to be exciting. I think we're all going to have a lot of like stitchy related things to do for the next few months, so hopefully everyone will be able to stay busy, and yeah, there's just going to be a lot of content along the way. So I did want to start off with I don't know where, sidebar, this might be a little bit all over the place, and it might be a short one because I don't have a lot, but it will definitely be all over the place, and it might be chopped up just in case I forget something and then I start like editing the video and then I remember, and then I'll probably come back here and add little bits and pieces, but hopefully I can piece it up all together. Yes, so I'll start off with haul. I spoke about briefly last week that I purchased like one or two pieces from Blackbird designs, and what ended up happening was I purchased some pieces just in honor of just Blackbird in general, given everything that transpired early in the month in July with Barb's passing. I wanted to kind of pay my respects in a like stitchy way because I wasn't able to meet her in person, so I just kind of wanted to do something to, you know, I don't know, like give my piece. So I purchased some patterns, and because I'm not familiar with the way like a lot of like Blackbird pieces are, I realized that things are numbered. So Yamir, you should know better. So I realized that pieces were numbered. So of course, because I'm on the quest of, now that I have pieces that are numbered, I can't just have like number 8 or like number 6. I have to get the whole thing. So I ended up going down the rabbit hole of finding pieces or the rest of the charts to follow along with the sequence. Hence why this haul is mostly gonna be Blackbird. My haul came from ABC Stitch and 123 Stitch, but it was primarily Blackbird. And there's gonna be a lot of ums in this video, but okay. Okay, so the first set that I ended up, that's another thing that I learned, that I noticed that I was saying a lot. So I purchased the loose feathers season, so summer, autumn, winter, and it says that it's 3 parts. I'm not sure if it's 4 parts, summer, autumn, and winter. I don't know if there's fall or spring, but it says of 3. So I have these 3. I am going to stitch them the way that it's here, I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm gonna stitch it this way. rather than, yeah, that's how I'm gonna do it, rather than just doing it kind of like, let's see, where's the image, rather than doing it like individually like this way. So I'm just gonna do them all three together and have a little Blackbird little corner. A second thing that I ended up purchasing was I tried to get the remainder of the loose feather series, which are kind of, I think there's like 12 or 9. So I pretty much added in the rest of them. So the Light Upon the Lawn, number 2, the number 3, number 4, and then number 9. So I think at this point I should have all of them, if I'm not mistaken, which is great because now I get to stitch them pretty much like 3, 3, 3 and make like a bigger presentation. I also purchased, and I promise it wasn't, oh, see, I just remembered. I also purchased these little cuties from them as well. And that was from 123 Stitch, ABC Stitch, and that was pretty much it. I also finally got some needlepoint silks that I was waiting for to try out, because I think I'm gonna do the needlepoint silk option for Liz Matthews Christmas countdown, but I'm not sure yet. I think I'm gonna do the needlepoints. If not, I'll see how many colors, and I may just dye them myself and probably just make some color corrections. I also ordered a hoop from, I think 123 Stitch. Don't quote me, it's either 123 Stitch or ABC Stitch. It's a little bit thinner, and when I ordered this, and I think I spoke about this last week. I spoke about this last week on how I saw someone at StitchCon, or I've seen a few people using a super like chunky thick hoop. I think my chains are like really getting annoying. Okay, I think that's better. Less jingle, right? So I saw a few people stitching with a chunky hoop. Therefore, I decided to purchase a chunky hoop to have as well. So I also purchased this one because I wasn't sure. When I purchased the hoop, I just purchased it in the hopes of it being what I wanted. However, this one isn't. It's a little bit more thinner than what I was looking for. Honestly, my review on the hoop, on the Nerge, it's a Nerge hoop. My review on the Nerge hoop, it's perfect. It's perfect. I don't have anything negative to say. I'm trying to like control my jewelry. It's perfect. I have nothing negative to say about it. So if you don't have one, I really suggest using it. I did have a brief conversation with Karen from the Needlebug. She does a lot of lives, which I love, on YouTube. So we spoke a bit about just the Nerge hoops, frames, hoops. She has quite a few, and I briefly mentioned last week that I wanted to wrap the hoops with some bias binding, and I wasn't going to use the hoop yet. And she actually reached out to me and she let me know, hey, like she doesn't even wrap hers with bias binding, she doesn't have an issue. And I kind of did the same thing, and I agree, I can't complain. So you can do the Nerge or you can do one of these, whatever. However, Nerge was perfect for me and I have no complaints on that. So that's a big plus. Those are kind of my purchases from the past week or since we last spoke. Another thing that we spoke of, that I ended up doing within the past week, I kind of So I've been on a quest trying to find fellow New Yorkers that stitch and hopefully do like a meetup or something like that with friends and just stitch together. That being said, I joined a Facebook group of like New York stitchers, and I've just kind of been like trolling and like watching, and it just so happens that someone was like, hey, like I'm getting rid of some of my cross stitch stash, etc., and you know, if anybody wants it, let me know. So I was just like, me please, like I'll take it, doesn't matter, it doesn't really matter. So I ended up going to her place to pick up the pieces, or just pick up it was a bag. So I actually have it here. It's pretty heavy. So I picked up this whole bag full of just cross stitch goodies, and I mean, she has so much stitch things, which I think I'm gonna go on the same wagon as Situation Normal from Kathleen and possibly Evelyn from Across the Pond. They do kind of like a material minute or like a Save the Stitches type thing. So I'm probably gonna do a Save the Stitches along the way. Not today, because obviously I'm super disorganized. Not today, but I'm definitely gonna go through it just to share some pieces that she already had stitched on. So the only reason why I bring this up, that I ended up purchasing, was because I briefly spoke about last week, and I'm a true believer in whatever you put out for the universe, like I feel like you're gonna get it back. So I spoke a bit about how I had purchased some kind of metallic floss. I think it was like a Gutermann floss from the Garment District on my previous visit. And I was like, oh, like I may just do like a 5-10 minute segment on just sparkle floss. And then I was like, oh, I don't have sparkle floss. Ew, like I think I'm gonna have to buy some. No. So since I put it out in the universe, I found some of these in the stash that she was getting rid of. Could you believe it? In the stash that she was getting rid of. So therefore I don't have to buy any floss to try anything, because I have these. So I'll probably play with these a little bit as the weeks come by and as I share with you all, but that was pretty much it. I did get a lot of things. I want to say there's like 2 things that I do want to share with you all, and I'm very excited about it. So within the bag, she had a lot of just charts, books, fabric, completed projects, just like bits and pieces. But she also had 2 boxes, and that looks so good. So in the boxes, these are kind of like little like jewelry boxes that you can stitch and put stuff in it. So I'm super excited about it. I'm going to most likely stitch something super small, obviously, and I'm gonna have it, and I'm probably gonna have this on my desk, or I don't know, like have it somewhere. And then, because as if it wasn't meant to be, you know it if you know me, and if you've been watching, a little tiny one. So tell me it wasn't meant to be. So I'm super excited about that, because now I have the biggie and the little. So yeah, like those are 2 of the cool things that were in there. There's so much stuff in there. I'm gonna definitely share it along the way, because I'm a true believer in saving stitches. I'm a true believer in saving stitches. So just throwing it out there, if you don't have anyone to put your inheritance / stitchy inheritance, put my name on it. I promise I'll take care of your stash once you cross over. And I mean, we never know. We never know. If you're that person that's also willing to take my stitchy inheritance, let me know, because I want to make sure that all of my stash is also in good hands. So if you don't have anyone, I'll be the one. I kept a lot of her pieces, and it was just very interesting because we had a conversation, and she was just like, yeah, like if you want, you can keep them. You just have to take the whole bag and you can just chug whatever you don't want. If you want it, and if you don't, just throw them out along your way. And I was like, no, like I'm not throwing it out, I'm keeping it. Like I'm super happy and honored to have pieces that belong to other people, whether they're here or not. I'm definitely gonna keep it and cherish it, so I'm super excited about that. I'm gonna save this bag for another day because, like I said, it is a lot. It's a big bag, and I need to organize my life in order to oh look, I found another scrunchie. This one is actually not broken and it's not pulling at my hair. So yeah, like I'm going to just take a little bit more time and look through it and organize it and share it, and hopefully I'll do like 1 or 2 pieces along the way until I'm pretty much done from sharing. And it's also kind of like very much an honor for me because I don't have like anything that like my mom has, like that's stitched or whatever, anything like that. So yeah, super excited about that. So this past week I've been prepping, and I'll let you know a little bit later towards the end. We're almost at the end because it's not a big long floss tube. Although I've been prepping, I also stitched a little bit, and the only reason why I stitched is because Stacy C Stitches, why is this guy FaceTiming me? Okay, sidebar. If you're gonna call someone, call them first before you FaceTime them, or text them and tell them that you're gonna FaceTime them instead of just randomly FaceTiming them. But whatever, I'll handle that later. So I didn't stitch much this week, but I did get a little bit of stitching in, and it's primarily because Stacy C Stitches and I are hosting a SAL, and it's called the Inheritance Sampler SAL. I'll put the information below, and pretty much I purchased, and it's this one. I purchased this chart at StitchCon. I gravitated towards it immediately. I just wasn't sure when I was gonna stitch it, but I kept on looking at it, and eventually I was like, you know what, I gotta stitch this. So at the same time when I was saying I wanna stitch this, I think Stacy or myself, one of us linked up with each other and we were like, let's stitch it, let's do a SAL, yay. And we started on July 29th, which was her birthday. So I had to stitch it, you know, just give me a reason onto why to stitch. I don't have much done, and it's gonna be interesting if I don't have it in here. I do have it. So I don't have much done. I'm using, so I'm using 2, I actually swapped the flosses from what is recommended to what I'm gonna be, to what I dye. So I actually swapped it to Gilded Gold and to Berry Blue. A note on that. So this is my what's the word? This is my progress. I do have a little mistake here, so I'm gonna have to, can you see it? Make it a little bit darker. So I have a little bit of a mistake down here. So I'll just fix that, and that was because you just got a frog. So on camera it really looks lighter, or it looks darker, I don't know. But what I was gonna say is I love this. I love it. I purposely love it for myself. However, if you're very picky about colors and things like that, I would also recommend, if you're gonna use one of my floss one of my silks, instead of using gilded gold, I would use like buttercup, which is literally like a butter, like a Peeps yellow, or use the Birds of Paradise, which is kind of like a manila type orange, just so you can see it a little bit better on the fabric. Although I personally like this, and the only reason why I personally like it is just, I don't know, like something just gravitated towards me, so I ended up doing these two together. But I think for other people, like they may want, if your fabric is like super whitey or like more, I don't know, like more of this type of like color, just be careful, be weary, if that's the correct word, of what yellow you're gonna be using. But yeah, for me, like you can pretty much see it, and from far away you can see it as well. But you know, just saying. And another thing I actually wanted to mention about just like stitching and making decision on floss and things like that, you know, like I see a lot of people doing floss toss sessions, which is awesome. That's great. My recommendation is sometimes you have to, although you know you'll say like, oh, these two, great, beautiful, it's awesome, but my recommendation is always pull out one strand and then put it next to it. And I'm sorry as always for the background noise, New York City, but always pull one strand and put it next to it, or whatever is the amount of strands that you're going to be stitching with, and put it next to it and see how that looks. If you have time, stitch like a row of like 3x3 or like 6x6 or whatever on a small corner with your color options, and you have it all there. You have a color key and you can kind of see how the colors all look together on the fabric, or just, you know, like how they work together, how they look on the fabric, and how they kind of like overall. And another thing that I like to do the majority of the times is, although I want to start a stitch right now today, you know, I try to, as much as possible, try to at least give it an hour before I make my decision on my floss. So I'll pull my floss, I'll pull the strand, stitch my combination, whatever my choices are, look at it, you walk away from it, you step away from it, because sometimes you may be looking super close to your floss and you're like, okay, like this looks great, you know, but then when you look back and you're halfway through the project, or you're already an hour into a project and you have a lot of progress done, and you look back and you're like, oh, this looks weird, it doesn't go with the fabric, you're in trouble there. So I always say pull a strand. If the least thing that you can do is pull a strand and put it next to the fabric, because threads can be deceiving when they're in a bunch. That's in general, that's across the board, but that's even like basic color theory that I learned in school. You know, you just have to walk back from it and see it from the distance. So that's my little spiel on just colors and threads and stuff like that. I mean, I love this. As you can see, here. At one point, I don't know, I think mentally I was like, oh, this is a huge one. But when I noticed that this is almost the bottom, I just have like another medallion, so this is gonna be the bottom. I'm just like, yeah, like I wasn't ready for this to be done so quickly. So now I need to take my time, because apparently I've been moving super fast. So yes, that's pretty much it as far as like stitching, what I've been doing. Another thing is, I had a conversation with give me one second. Okay, so I had a conversation with Becca from Sambriestitches, and we spoke about different things. And one of the things that we spoke about was just tools and just gadgets and things like that. And without diving too deep into it, I think I may have to do a floss tube on just tools, gadgets, and stuff like that. Let me know if that's something that you're interested in. I'm happy to do that. I did start on my Instagram like a little highlight section on like tools where I like talk about the needles that I use and why do I use them. But I feel like I may just have to like do like a start and do a few stitches so you can kind of see the difference, just to give a little bit more of explanation. So let me know if you're interested in that, or if you're not, just tell me like, Yamir, it's just poo-poo, like just stop talking poo-poo and I'll stop talking poo-poo. But one of the things that I did after we spoke, I forgot, and then I remembered and I put it on Instagram, but I did want to talk a little bit more about it, is this. This comes in different shapes and sizes for a fact. They come like table size, flat size, different shapes or sizes. But for me, this is my favorite one because it is small. Like it fits in my hand. I can throw it in my kit. It's not heavy, like TSA approved, etc. So this is called a scissors sharpener. It's from Fiskars, and for me, I have multiple ones, but I had to recently reorder one because, as you know, if you don't know, I moved, so a lot of my belongings, or pretty much everything, is still in our downstairs storage unit because we still don't have furniture, because we have to wait almost 20 weeks because of COVID and etc. So we have to wait about 20 weeks for a fridge and a stove and everything else. We ended up having to buy a bed out of emergency because we did not move with any furniture. So whatever. That being said, I have a pair of scissors, and in my household, we know fabric scissors and paper scissors, fabric scissors and random stuff scissors. So we know the difference, and we know not to do what we're not supposed to do as far as cutting fabric, cutting like thread scissors with other types of scissors. Sorry, I'm trying to control. That being said, I had a pair of scissors, which are these ones. I really love these scissors primarily because I had Oliver select them for me from Fire Poppies, and these were one of one of my first like fun scissors, because as you can tell, I like my soul is black and I only like black stuff, so they were pretty much like one of my fun scissors. So what happened was it just started losing its like snip per se, and I just ended up having to either stop using it, or we would just use it for like random things. So over time the scissors became worn and they just weren't great scissors for cross stitch or cutting threads or fabrics. So because this is my favorite thing, I used this all the time when I was in college. I'm pretty sure I've spoken about it, but my undergrad was fashion design, so obviously we dealt with a lot of fabric scissors and paper scissors. So I always had this. So it's a scissors sharpener. So pretty much, as you can see, I've started to use it already, but the sharpener is this little white thing, and it's kind of like a sandy, gritty type pole situation. So what I do, and the way this is supposed to be used, is that, and also sidebar, if you're a lefty, it's going to be a little bit iffy for you, so you're gonna have to like figure it out in a way. So for me, I am a lefty, so the scissors actually go this way, and I can actually I can show you in a different way if you're really interested. I'm not sure, but I mean, the packaging should have like a way on how to use it, but it's very iffy for us lefties, because for me, I sometimes have to like cross my hands so I know, or like do it the opposite way, because it's just so weird for me. But what you're doing is, these are your snips, this is your scissor, so you're pretty much putting the blade between, and then you're kind of like snipping. So you're doing this. So you're snipping, but let me see. I don't think you can see. So I'm gonna see if I can do it this way. So you're pretty much snipping into the white. So that's pretty much all you do. And I like to start from the root and then I get to the tip of the meat of the snips. You don't want to do this all the time because scissors are metal. Metal wears over time. Also, you just don't want to like over sharpen it to the point where it's so thin that it's just, you can't use them anymore. So you're not going to use this all the time, which I mean, I have this in my kit in different places. Also, which in my stories I forgot to mention, this only works on flat scissors, not serrated. And when I say serrated, it will be like the little zigzag ones. I call them pinking shears, the little zigzag ones, or like sometimes there's scissors that have like little like ridges in there, so I say serrated. Just regular snips, just super like flat snips, this is what it's gonna work on. And then another thing that I like to get, which I don't have it in this kit because I moved, I also like to get the little eyeglass eyewear screw kit, because sometimes you're like, oh, these scissors, well, these ones are actually good, but oh, these scissors are like, you know, like very flimsy, you know. Sometimes all you compared to like this one is super thick. Sometimes all you have to do is just take the little screwdriver and tighten it. So sometimes your scissors are not actually messed up, you just have to tighten it. So whatever, I got off of my spiel. I recommend this. They come in different shapes, forms, and sizes. I like this because it's small enough to fit my bag, but there's like different ones that you can have on your desk, etc. I recommend it. If you have any questions, let me know. I mean, they're super cheap. They're like less than $10, like $6-7. Not a big deal. And it's just good to have. I like them, so why not? I figured I would share. So that's pretty much it about cross stitching. That's all I have about cross stitching. So if you're not into like listening about any like AlmondMnM studio like floss like updates, you're free to go. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for staying. Now I'm just gonna talk about a lot of things and I'm not gonna be organized, so I'll just talk about it as things pop up in my head. So for August, I have a lot of things going on. One of the major things is common threaded stitcher. Common threaded stitcher is the brainchild or the idea of Keabee and her husband. So, and there's pretty much some floss tubes out there explaining it. There's also a lot of hashtags on Instagram explaining it. So it's pretty much for the whole month of August, and I'm part of the team. I don't know if I said that, yay. So it's pretty much all of August. We put out a prompt a day, and then you just post the image or you post about it. Today's August 1st, so of course the 1st of August is introducing yourself. So you post the selfie and you introduce yourself, which I already have done. I've already found new friends. I'm super excited. I even found people in New York. Can't you believe it? Because I literally was like, I'm not gonna find people in New York. I found people in New York, so I'm super stoked about that. That being said, there's a few people on our team. It's myself, Pam and Steph from Just Keep Stitching, Kia, her husband, Jem Lee, her husband. You have Liz Matthews from Liz Matthews. You have Snugharborcrafts, so it's Deb and Keph. So there's a few people on our team, and I'll include all the information below. You can go on my Instagram, you can check it. So yeah, so it's pretty much every single day we have a different prompt. It's very thought-provoking things, and you can decide if you want to like join along and post a picture, or you can just decide if you just want to read along and just like things. The one thing that I do suggest is follow me or follow everyone on the group or whoever your heart desires. We also have a Instagram just for the Common Threaded Stitcher, which is Common Threaded Stitcher, and there you'll find all of the pictures of like the prompt itself per day. We did post a overview image, but now every single day we will post along with our images the like the prompt per se that you can use and share the image to show other people to just take that image and just post it on their situation of like Instagram, etc. So you're gonna find a lot of me posting this month, which is great because sometimes I'm bad about posting, and it's not because I don't want to, it's just because I'm super busy and I get up super early for work and I come home super late, and then it's like I don't want to bother people with another notification, so I just don't do it. So I'm doing it. So it's gonna be awesome. So that's like the first thing that's going on all of August. There's a few things that I can't talk about because they're gonna be released or announced by like their own people from like, you know, like their own like designer person, etc. So that's exciting, so stay tuned for that. All of that is definitely coming out in August. But another thing is, and you see, super disorganized. So another thing that I wanted to talk about is I've listened to everyone's feedback, and you know, for me, this is my first venture into providing a product for the cross stitch community, which is awesome. You all have supported me 100%, which is amazing. Like anytime I like pack something or see an order come through, or when I'm working on a lot of like the color combinations, I also always think about everyone's support in the back end. So I did listen to a lot of feedback, or I did notice like a lot of like discrepancies. So one of the discrepancies that I did notice was dye lots. So dye lots is something important that if you're not aware of, something important to talk about. So what happened with dye lots is, and this is in the cross stitch community, in the fabric community, anything that's dyed, whether it is excuse me, apparel. We see dye lots a lot in apparel clothing, cross stitch, yarn, knitting, crochet, like anything that's pretty much dyed, there's gonna be, or anything that has color at this point, because I mean, I've seen that even in like I just recently got my floor stained, like there's a dye lot for the different stains. So what dye lot is pretty much, today I mix an equal part of yellow and an equal part of blue, you know, which makes a different type of color. What is that? Yellow, blue, purple, green, purple. No, yellow, blue, no, what? Yellow and blue, green, what is wrong with me, red? So and I should know better because we did color theory every single, like literally every single day when I was in college. That being said, I mix equal parts of, let's do it easier, I mix equal parts of white and equal parts of black, which makes gray. That being said, if I do it today, it'll be gray. If I do it tomorrow, it's gonna be completely dye lot, a completely different dye lot. Whether it's The factor is temperature, time of setting, you know, like a millimeter fraction of a gram of a like some kind of weight, but dye lots are different. So that's why a lot of people will dye things in batches. That being said, as some of us already know, you're going to say if someone dyes things, or if it's the fabric or whatever is dyed, you know, like one roll of fabric was dyed, that roll contained 500 yards of just fabric. That's all going to be the same dye lot. If they do it tomorrow and it's another 500, that's a completely different dye lot, whatever. So what I'm trying to say is, moving forward, I am going to start indicating the dye lots per floss, Hank, or whatever. You're gonna have a dye lot. So pretty much from August 1st 2021 moving forward, all of your items are gonna come with a dye lot number. If the item was dyed before then or packaged before then, you're not gonna find a dye lot. This is only to ensure I can't keep the same dye lots in stock. This is more a little bit easier for, say, if you're like, oh my god, I need 15 more inches on dye lot 1, 2, 3, and you reach out to me or you post it, we can figure out if we find other people with dye lot 1, 2, 3, and you can pretty much swap. So it's kind of like that way we can figure it out, because for me, I can't keep the dye lots in the house. Like, it's just too much. And I mean, once it's dyed, and then I just move on to the next batch. But I wanted to figure out a way to like help people along the way. Another thing is that I recommend is, if you're purchasing, if it's not a DMC or something that the dye lots don't vary, yeah, you can rebuy things. But if you're purchasing, you know, hand dyed, whether it's me or another person's product, make sure you're ordering enough, because we can't guarantee the same dye lot for your next order. I can probably guarantee the same dye lot if you ordered today and ordered tomorrow, but I can't guarantee the same dye lot. So moving forward, you're gonna find a stamp on your items with a dye lot number, so it'll be a little bit easier. And the dye lot number is pretty much gonna be either like a date or a number, and it's just for everyone. So you're gonna have dye lot siblings along the way. So that's that, and I just wanted to make sure that I brought that up. Another thing is, sitting on the floor. So another thing is, August 1st, today, and I am, after this, while this video is uploading, I'm actually going to make live 2 things, 2 new products, but the products are pretty much a pre-order. They're going to ship on different times. However, I wanted to give you all time to, you know, get your coins ready and straight and things like that, or decide if you want to do it or not. So what am I talking about? I am talking about, if you haven't guessed so already, I am introducing 2, not 1, but 2 Advent boxes. And the Advent boxes, or themed boxes, are just gonna be for October and December. That being said, I'm opening up both boxes today. Now, there's no like cap on, oh, you know, like I only have 10 boxes, I only have whatever. No, I am stopping the ordering of boxes for October on September 1st. So take notes, and I'll probably include it below as well. I'll put it in the website, and I'll put it in a post. I'll put it everywhere so everyone can see it. So the October box, the open time frame is going to be shorter than the December box. So the open time frame is going to be from August 1st till September 1st. Why? Because I will be shipping the boxes by the 2nd to 3rd week of September. further explanation, if you are international, I am in New York in the United States. If you are not in the United States, I will be shipping your box a week earlier. So if you're international, I am going to ship the box anywhere between week 1 to week 2 of September, most likely week 1. The only thing that I do ask is please don't open the box until October 1st. If you ordered an October box, please don't open the box until October 1st because it's an advent calendar and we don't want to spoil it for everyone else. If you are domestic or national, if you're United States, I will be shipping the box 2nd to 3rd week of September, and I'll make updates along the way. 2nd to 3rd week of September, most likely 2nd week of September. I just don't want to risk anyone not receiving their boxes in time. So you might have your box by September week 3, September week 4. So we're gonna have to figure out some willpower things to make sure that you don't open the box before October 1st. So it's pretty much the shipping situation for October. For the December box, so for the December box, I'm going to I'll cap it out at, what is this, August? So I'll cap it out at October 1st. So it gives me a little bit longer to get things out. And the only reason why I say that is because I feel like holiday, given the previous holiday and all these different things, we need a little bit more time to push packages and things out to you, especially if you're international. So the cap for the October box is September 1st. The cap for the December box is October 1st. So what do the boxes include per se? So rewind a little bit. So you're gonna say, well, what are the colors? No, I can't tell you what the colors are. That's the purpose of an advent box. So the box is gonna be 31 full days. And that's why I decided to do an October and a December box. So it's gonna be 31 days from October 1st to October 31st, from December 1st to December 31st. The reason why I did this is because I want to be as inclusive as possible. So the box is not gonna be, oh, it's a Halloween box. And the box is not gonna be like, oh, it's a Halloween box, or oh, it's a Christmas box. No, it's gonna be October and December. Okay, I'm in New York City. I'm in New York. So my Octobers and my Decembers are gonna be slightly different if you're somewhere like Dominican Republic or somewhere like Florida or somewhere like Australia or etc., because of temperatures and seasons and things like that. So I really didn't want to make it, like I said, Halloween or Christmas, etc., because I also wanted to be as inclusive as possible, keeping in mind people's holidays, or if you celebrate any type of holiday, or if you don't celebrate any type of holiday. So I really didn't want to make it geared as a Christmas box, Hanukkah box, Kwanzaa box, or anything box. I just wanted to be a December box, an October box. So the themes of the boxes are pretty much gonna be kind of like, I'm in New York October, so for me October is very like fall, like chai, and without me giving out so many hints, because guess what, I pretty much have all the colors done. I'm almost done with the colors for December. Like Octobers are down packed. I pretty much have all the colors down for December. So without giving so much information, you know, like for me personally, like October is very like, oh, hoodie weather, so like lattes and hot cocoa and, you know, like cookies and things like that. And then the same thing goes for December, like very like winter wonderland, you know, yes, Christmas, holiday, etc. But you have the Hanukkahs, you have the Kwanzaas, you have like the New Year's resolutions, you have all of these different other events that's wrapping down the ending of the year. So I wanted to encompass that. So what happens here? You may say, if you trust me enough, because this is also a trust thing, if you trust me enough to trust me with your dye colors, let me actually lower this. Is that better? If you trust me enough with dye colors, combinations for you, you'll have that. But I can't tell you what the colors are gonna be or things like that. I don't know what's going on with my hair. I'll include like little themes and stuff like that along the way, like teasers, but I just don't want to ruin it for everyone. But I can guarantee you, if you're familiar with a lot of my like product or like my colors, you'll know that you will get solids, you know, you will get mixtures and things like that. And I hope I'm not forgetting anything. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. And if I forget, like, I'm most likely gonna have to like come back on here and talk about it again, but I'll probably make a separate video, but I wanted to do it all in one. So the box costs. So the box will cost $150. Jesus. So the box is So the box is gonna cost $150. That being said, what does the box bring? You're gonna have 31 colors. That is a fact. So for myself, you're gonna get, the majority of the box is gonna be, it's gonna be strictly fibers. You're not gonna get fabric. You're not gonna get fabric. You're just gonna get strictly fibers. I feel like if I include fabric, then we're gonna go down the rabbit hole of 18 count, 14 count, 28 count, linen, this, that, the third. I wanna make sure that, you know, like fabric is very personable. And I wanna make sure that when you have a fabric from me, which in the future I am dyeing fabrics, I just need to post it on the website. I'm super late. But I just want to make sure that you're happy with the fabric. I feel like the fabric makes a lot of an impact. So I don't want you to trust me 1000% in giving you a fabric for your admin box because that's your only choice. Versus, I hope you can trust me to giving you 31 colors if you're doing one box and 62 colors if you're doing 2 boxes. Trust me enough to at least like the majority of the colors in the boxes. So where was I? The box is $150. What does the box contain? So the majority of the box is going to have the 6-ply silk that is already active on the website. When I say the 6-ply silk that's already active on the website, I mean the type of silk. That being said, you know, let me see, I can get, this is like a hank that I have already open. So you have, this is like a 6-ply silk. My hands are disgusting. So you have a 6-ply silk, right? This is undyed. No hints here. So you'll have the 6-ply silk. My purpose on these boxes are to push you as much as possible, but in a comfortable way, to try different things that you wouldn't try elsewhere and stuff like that. Specifically as far as fibers and as far as width or thicknesses of floss. So in the boxes, the majority of the box is going to be a 6-ply silk, the 6-ply silk that I already sell on the website. Then what I'm also going to include, and this is mainly because of what other people have been asking me. So what I'm going to include is a single-ply silk. So for the 6-ply silk, they're gonna be the normal like 8 yards, etc. So for the single-ply silk, you're gonna get more yardage in there because it's single-ply. So that's off the bat. So the single-ply silk is way much thinner than the 6-ply silk. So my purpose on providing you with a single ply silk is I am a over one stitcher, and I stitch a lot of 56 count over one. So I've seen a lot of people become interested in stitching over one, but you're having issues or you're struggling finding the proper size floss. So I wanted to help you along that way. For me, the decision on including single ply came easy, but also didn't come easy, primarily because of I'm just not sure if everyone is an over one stitcher, or if everyone is willing to try like hair thin floss. So full disclosure, you're gonna have a hair thin floss. You can pretty much stitch with 2 plies, 3 plies, 4 plies of this floss to get as thick as you would like it. But I wanted to include things that you can play around with and feel comfortable enough to do it. And also because I get so many questions with peers asking, what floss do you use? So I am including the floss that I use as well. No, the 31 colors or the 31 different silks are not just going to be the single ply. Thus, going into the second edition, it will be I'm also including a 2-ply silk. So the 2-ply is going to be in the middle of the 1st ply and the 6th ply. So it's pretty much this thin. Ooh, don't touch my nails. It's gonna be this thin. So I will include my crusty fingers on here so you can kind of see. So here, as you can see, you have 1 ply, 2 ply, 3 ply. So you'll have 3-ply silk. So in addition to that, I'm also going to include a exploratory floss, and it's like a silk mohair mix, and I actually had to wrap it up, and it's kind of like a whisper type thing, but it's pretty much like a fuzzy floss. So what I'm doing here is I am pushing your comfort zone boundaries, etc., and also still leaving you with the comfort. So what's gonna happen? I have the notes on my phone, but I left my phone over here somewhere and I don't want to pull it because I don't want to get distracted. So what's gonna happen? The majority of the boxes, 31 days, the majority is going to be the 6 ply. 31 days minus 2 days, you're going to get a single ply. Minus 2 days, you're going to get a double ply. So your whole box is not going to be single ply. You're only going to have 2 days that's going to be a single ply, 2 days that's going to be a double ply, 2 days it's going to be a kind of like fuzzy floss situation. So why am I doing 2 days? Because the main reason why is, and also trust me here, the main reason why I'm doing it this way is because if in the event that you love single ply or you love double ply and you got it from your box, I want you to at least have something to match it. So what does that mean? The 2 single ply floss that you will get in the box. So if day 1 is a single ply and day 7 is a single ply, you'll know, okay, these 2 can be matched together. Pretty much everything will work cohesively along the box, but I wanted to make sure that the 2 odd ones work together. So if you want to make a pattern that's, for example, gilded gold and blueberry, you'll know gilded gold and blueberry go together. This is single ply, boom, same thing. I'm gonna do the same thing with the single ply, with the double ply, and I'm gonna do the same thing with the fuzzy options. So the majority of your box, like I said, it's not gonna be exploratory, but you will get the majority. All of your box is gonna be pretty much silk minus the fuzzy floss per se. So I think I hit everything. I'm going to include everything on the website because this video is getting super long, but I'm going to include everything on the website. So I mean, pretty much everything is going to be open there. If you have any questions, let me know. Don't hesitate to reach out. The only thing I cannot tell you is what colors, but please note that the boxes are gonna be fun. And as you all know, for me, I personally love to curate everything, so please know that this comes with a lot of thought behind it, and just a lot of love as well. I'm super excited to include it. I'm super excited to bring something new to our community, although like boxes are not new, but I wanted to kind of, you know, like do something to also like help on the way as far as like color selection. So also on top of that, I feel like this is a great opportunity to join on the end of year fun. If you want to do like unboxings every single day, like you have a silk box unboxing to do every day. But also I think it's a great opportunity if you haven't tried any of the floss to kind of like get your feet wet, and you have different options on like widths, different types of fibers, and obviously different types of colors. So I think I'm done here. As far as like the boxes, that was like the big announcement. I'm sorry if I disappointed you, but that was the big announcements. So I did want to talk about fabric. So fabric is not included in the boxes, like I mentioned. However, I will be introducing fabric into the website. So a lot of people have reached out to me and asked me like, are you doing fiber of the month? Are you doing fabric of the month? I'm not doing that. The only reason why I say that is because I want to make it as accessible as possible to everyone. I don't want to cap things out because I want everyone to feel as included as possible, but I also don't want to it to be like, yes, like I do understand the part of being like surprised every month with different fibers, but I also just don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable as far as like, I didn't like this blue colored, you know, color story, or I didn't like this gold colored color story, like I'm gonna have to wait until next month to get a different set. Like I want you to be able to be happy with your purchases and be able to kind of like see what you're purchasing. Although I just spoke about 2 months that you're gonna get 31 new colors and you're not gonna see, but I think as for me not doing the yearly, like every single month, the 12 months out of the year, a box or like a club, I think the boxes towards the ending of the year will supplement the beginning of the year. I'll talk about it further. I'll try to come in next week to just give you a quick update on my SAL and things like that, because I think pretty much all of August I may be filming weekly or bi-weekly because there's so many things in addition that are happening, different like releases, and I want to come on here and talk about it. But the main thing was that we're gonna have holiday boxes. We're gonna have a December box and October box, so fall, autumn, and a winter box. So let me know what you think, let me know, and yeah, like I'll put all the good stuff below. I think these boxes are gonna be fun. I'm gonna put little goodies and notes in there, but it's gonna be seriously strictly fibers. I may yeah, I can't give you sneak peeks because it's not gonna be fun. I'm gonna ruin it. But you know, let me know if you have questions, but definitely please know that this is coming from a piece of my heart, and I wanted to, and I created it very mindfully on the needs of a stitcher, a new stitcher, or someone that's willing to expand. So enough about my yapping, and I'm just gonna let you go so you can enjoy another floss tube. So thank you for chatting and staying with me, or me chatting at you. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, any comments, feedbacks, don't hesitate to reach out to me or put it below. I'm always happy to answer. So see you next time. Bye.